Alright, in this video I'm going to be calling it Lighting Training Part 1, and we'll go over a few steps to help you create lighting plans in Revit. I'm going to try and keep this video under 5 minutes, so at that window we'll turn off and go to the next one. To begin, the goals of this video are to A, get you to be able to place a light fixture on plan, place it in the grid, and at the right ceiling height. At that point, there's switch lags that we'll need to start tagging, as well as a couple of other items that, just to keep an eye on as you design. Just a quick housekeeping item, you'll always want to be placing lights in your RCP plans, which will be located just under this coordination tab, and then lighting, and then ceiling plans. You'll actually do all your tagging and your lighting plot plans, which are located right under the electrical tab. In this case, I'm on the first floor. With that said, I'm going to show you how to place a 2x2 on the plan from start to finish. So you'll start off by going into your lighting ceiling plans over here on the right hand side, and you'll see that I have the Systems tab open. A part of the Systems tab has just about everything you need to know in Revit, but in this case we're looking for light fixtures. If you see right next to the bold letters, those parentheses have a LF next to it. That's a hotkey, and you can use that on your keyboard to get to this same location. But in this case, we'll just click on it and we'll begin placing the light. One thing that you always want to check when you start working is make sure you have your work set to lighting, otherwise you won't be able to see your light. You'll notice that it's also giving me a little cross bracket, and that's because it's the host face that it's trying to grab onto. And right now it's set to vertical. That will always happen by default, so you'll need to switch that to the work plane. And as soon as you do that, you'll be able to see your light in the plan view. So another useful thing to help you out is if you align it to the grid right here, you can hit the space bar and it allows you to rotate the light. This is helpful when you have an awkward shaped building that isn't quite square like we have here. Also, if you don't want a 2x2 light, you just kind of go over to this tab right over here that shows all the types, and you can switch it to whatever style lighting you would like, from under cabinet to 2x4s to 1x4s. They're all located within this drop down menu. So in this case I'll switch it to a 2x4 and you'll see I'll get a new style of light. At this point you simply click to place, and that's pretty much it to place it on plan. You'll see I got this warning down here that says that I've lost association to the host. That's fine. If you get that warning, all you have to do is go up to this tab right here after you select the light. Red means it's selected in my view, and you'll see that there's this edit work plane. As you can kind of tell over here, it says that the host is not associated. That's a bad thing. We want to change that so that it's hosted to the architectural model, and to do that you hit edit work plane, and for what I typically do is I'll hit this pick command and hit OK. At this point you can go just to the area where the RCP, you'll kind of see I've got a red border on the kind of outline that we've got going, and when you select, it will then host correctly to the architectural plane, and you can see it shifted down to 8 feet. Another thing you can do to double check that you have your light in the correct ceiling plane is you can go to a 3D view. I've got one set up over here, and you can see I have the light selected and it all looks good. It's right where I want it. Let's say you didn't have this ceiling in place in the architectural model, you can always host elements to the reference planes that we have default created. So if I go into edit plane and then I go to this drop down, I hit this 8-foot marker, it's going to go and re-host it to the ceiling level. Typically you'll always want to continue to host it to the ceiling grid. I'm going to hit Control Z just to undo what I've just done. And you can see that puts it right back on the grid. So just to recap, once you have this guy in place, you can start copying it across the board and putting it throughout this ceiling wherever you like it. The copy command is just up here in this top right hand corner. It helps out a ton when you're doing a large quantity. You can also do the shortcut key for that is CO on your keyboard, and you can see that there's this multiple one. If you have many lights to do, it helps if you just grab that and you can select and drop as many as you want until you hit the escape key. So that's basically it on how to place a light on plan. In the next video, we'll talk about tagging and making sure that we can tag and then copy throughout the model all in one. Thank you.